Tail of the tape in the main event for the welterweight world title. Two fighters intimately familiar with one another.
And one of the big differences, Douglas Lima walks at about 210. He has a serious cut to get to 170.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA presented tonight by Miller Lite on Spike from Tel Aviv. The time has come for the main event of the evening. Five-minute rounds, the rematch for the Bellator Welterweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. Chairman is Kevin Brown. Tribal Chief Lynn Malerba. Supervising at Cageside, ABC President Mr. Mike Mazzulli. Tonight's world title fight is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170 pounds even, the former Bellator welterweight world champion brings an impressive professional record of 27 wins with 6 defeats from Goiânia, Goiás, Brazil. He fights out of Atlanta, Georgia, USA, presenting the challenger, Douglas the Phenom Lima. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 169.8 pounds. In his second defense of the title, he stands near perfect as a professional with 19 wins, just 1 defeat. Hailing from Omsk, Russia, introducing the defending Bellator welterweight world champion, Andrey Spartan Koreshkov. In charge of the action, your referee, Dan Mergliata.
Okay, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to be my commands at all time. I want you to protect yourselves at all time. If you want to touch gloves for luck, do it now. Best of luck to both of you.
A defining moment for these two begins now. The story of the first fight was a simple one. Everyone expected Koreshkov to stay on his feet. He immediately took Douglas Lima to the ground over and over again and out-wrestled him to win the world title.
One weapon that was conspicuously absent for Douglas Lima was the leg kick. He has devastating leg kicks. He didn't trust his knee and hardly threw it.
Douglas Lima won the world title with a series of devastating leg kicks that just chopped Rick Long down. He earned this title shot by beating Paul Daly in London in July and scored a big early shot in that fight to turn the tide.
When you look at Koreshkov's win over Benson Henderson, what really stood out to me is that against a quick 55er, he didn't look slow. He looked fast against a fast guy, against a natural 55er.
Now can his power match a much bigger guy in Douglas Lima?
That's the question in a nutshell. Speed and accuracy combinations versus raw power, because that's what Lima has.
When you see these spinning kicks and these spinning back fists of Koreshkov, remember who his coach is, Alexander Shlemenko, who has mastered them. Alexander Shlemenko, we said, was still under suspension in April when Koreshkov fought Ben Henderson. He was not allowed at the cage. They were trying to communicate between his translator, Alexei, with Shlemenko, who is in the crowd. Instead of throw him off, he said he would have knocked Ben Henderson out if everything had been the way he was supposed to. Douglas Lima goes in, and Koreshkov ducks the shot and gets him to the ground.
Can't keep him there. No. Nice sweep back to his feet. He didn't do that in the first fight.
He was not physically able to do that in the first fight.
Now, a big question in this fight is, we talk about the cut for Lima, we talk about the size, we talk about the power. With his size, can he go a hard 5 rounds? Is he just not built for a long fight? And also he relies a lot on that power hand. He's not a guy who uses the jab, uses the left very much. He's a right-handed fighter.
The first message sent by Douglas Lima to Koreshkov that I'm not the same guy I was in July of 2015.
But one thing is, Koreshkov isn't fighting like he's the same guy. He set it up with strikes. He had an opportunity for the takedown. He wasn't going for it like he did in the first fight.
Not supporting the Dan Bergliata restart. Boy, he delivers that quick.
So fast.
Because of sort of the worldwide, you want to call it disrespect, you can. The idea that Andrey Koreshkov still doesn't appear in some people's top 5 or their top 10, which is absurd.
Absurd.
But it's something that Andrey Koreshkov can use. Like, what else does he have to do? 19-1, he's dominated everybody. Ask him who he would love to fight more than anybody else in the world. It's Ben Askren, because he wants that loss back. He was just 22 when he fought that fight. He wasn't prepared to fight a world-class wrestler at that time. He would love more than anything to fight Ben Askren again, which I'm sure is now sending Ben Askren to social media.
Would expect nothing less. You see that leg kick, it was effective. It hurt the lead leg of Andrey Koreshkov. Andrey Koreshkov, a lot of times, has kind of a boxing style. He relies on being able to put pressure on that lead leg. He's very good with the lead hand. In order to use that, a lot of times you need the lead leg to plant effectively. He knocked down Marius Saromfkas with a jab. Incredible power in that snapping lead jab. And Lima, you can see, pushes behind the jab because he's setting up the right hand. He hardly ever flicks it out. It's like that Larry Holmes stiff kind of jab. That's what he loves.
Easton assassin.
You can explain who Larry Holmes is to all the kids out there.
They have Google. They have Wikipedia.
One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Thank you.
He had the misfortune of being heavyweight champion after Muhammad Ali.
But known for his jab, maybe the best in heavyweight history. But it had that pushing kind of jab, and he snapped your head back. Lima pushes off the jab. He doesn't snap it. It's really just a setup.
Koreshkov got the early takedown. Lima got it back to the feet. Not that it's any surprise, but it's pretty clear this was going to be a different fight, and it was in round 1.
Very, very different fight, but one thing that wasn't different, Andrey Koreshkov still the busier guy in round 1.
This would be 11 rounds now for Koreshkov against Douglas Lima and Ben Henderson, 2 of the best in the world, and he has not lost one of those rounds.
See the changes, you see the differences. Douglas Lima willing to throw that leg kick. Was able to get up from the takedown, things he couldn't do in the first fight, but Koreshkov still accurate, still rangy, still throwing combinations.
Douglas Lima in there right now is probably, what, 20 pounds bigger than Ben Henderson was, at least?
Easy, easy. That guy's a giant. Look at the knee of Koreshkov. That left knee is red. Keeps going. That hurt him. That hurt him.
You saw by the way he reacted and stepped back.
What this does is it puts money in the bank. Maybe round 1 and 2 you can walk on it. 3, 4, 5 you can't put any pressure on it.
It takes away some of that power.
Especially the lead hand.
Lima walking Koreshkov down a little bit.
Basic rule of thumb, the lead hand is the power for the left hook, it's the power for the jab. The right hand, the power is behind the right foot. When you take away that lead leg, you take away the lead hand as well.
How devastating can that be? We saw Patricio Pitbull walk away from a fight with Ben Henderson when a kick of his got checked. Big shots from Lima. Koreshkov stays safe. Keep an eye on that front leg. Again, Lima continues to chop at.
One thing to keep in mind, in close rounds, a lot of judges aren't educated about the leg kick. It's a devastating weapon, but not a lot of them score them as effective strikes. They should.
A shot from Koreshkov. And again, this is not an injured Douglas Lima that Koreshkov just took down for the second time. Remember that number I gave you earlier. Koreshkov, his entire Bellator career, had 1 takedown. 1 before the first fight with Lima. He scored 4 in that fight, and this is 2 here.
Good place to get back to his feet. Up against the fence, try and get his hips underneath and pop back to his feet. The problem in this position is Koreshkov spends a lot of time keeping Lima down, doesn't get his own ground and pound going. Good job getting his hips close.
Koreshkov so determined.
Angling for the triangle, couldn't get it.
So determined to show he has this part of the game too. But you wonder how much of this down here was by necessity because of that leg, all those leg kicks.
There's a little more desperation on that takedown than we saw in the first fight.
And yet he's been the aggressor here.
Certainly has. This allows him to earn points in close rounds too.
Could be looking at a situation where Douglas Lima hurt Koreshkov, but he could be down 2-0 anyway. Again, the moment of this round, Jimmy, was the leg kick that clearly hurt Koreshkov, but Koreshkov's going to win the round.
Certainly will. Facing that ground and pound yet again.
He's not done. Koreshkov taking advantage of the final seconds of round 2, and that elbow got in over the top. Jimmy, we've been telling everyone over and over again, talking about Andrey Koreshkov not having lost a fight in 3 years, his only loss to Ben Askren. I don't think, and we don't think, he has lost a round in 3 years.
No, I don't think he has. I mean, he's been nothing short of dominant.
Six straight wins after the Ben Askren fight. And the title win over Douglas Lima, and the shutout of Ben Henderson in April. Real interesting debate when this fight is over, regardless of how it ends, is who is next for the welterweight world champion, whether it's Koreshkov or Lima. Rory McDonald is waiting in the wings. See, Jimmy, both of us have Koreshkov up 2-0, despite those leg kicks he took early in round 2, and now Koreshkov's starting to open up a little bit.
First round was very close. The reason I gave it to Koreshkov was his activity, just threw a little bit more than Lima. Could be tied up. All the physical attributes and technical attributes a fighter can have, the two that don't go very well together are power and volume. Guys that hit really hard don't tend to throw that much. That's what we're seeing here from Lima. He's a power puncher. He's just not as busy as Andrey Koreshkov.
You have to look quickly and carefully, but you can tell Koreshkov is hurting. as any human being would be. And now big shots
good
get
shots,
in.
good
And
left hand.
Koreshkov is down. He's in trouble, and it's over. It happened. Douglas Lima, after a 16-month wait, through rehab, through hell to get back to this spot, takes Andrey Koreshkov's best shots, and in one moment has regained the welterweight world title.
What were we just talking about? Power versus speed. The difference with power, you only need one. Here it is. Looked like Koreshkov was doing great. Bang! Left hook over the top. Caught Andrey Koreshkov being a little too aggressive, and look at that. No comparison in the power of Douglas Lima. Koreshkov is out cold. The champ yet again. Here it is. Beautiful. Just when Koreshkov looked like he might have Lima on his heels, rips the belt away from him.
Andrey Koreshkov talked to us about being careful against high-level opponents. He had been increasingly careful, technically proficient in winning round after round and fight after fight. And when he finally gets careless, it costs him the world title.
What a moment for Douglas Lima. And he should be emotional. Great fight by him. He knew when to strike and made the most of it. It took Koreshkov losing his, I don't want to say patience, but getting excited to get Douglas Lima back into this fight. He wasn't giving Douglas Lima a lot of opportunities in the stand-up. He got a little reckless against a puncher like Douglas Lima. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot do that.
Douglas Lima was tired of hearing about the first fight, tired of hearing how he had no chance, tired of hearing how dominant Andrey Koreshkov had been as the world champion. He came to Tel Aviv to get his belt back, and Douglas Lima has done it. To Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes suddenly. 1 minute, 21 seconds into round number 3 by knockout. He is the new and now two-time Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas "The Phenom" Lima.
Jimmy, he wasn't ready to get off the train. He's ready to lead it again. And the new welterweight world champion, Douglas Lima, is with Matt Mitrione.
Diego, Douglas, absolutely incredible. What an incredible fight. Your low kicks had an incredible result. But first of all, let's talk about fighting in front of this crowd. How amazing was that?
I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. It was an honor. It was an honor fighting here in front of you. Before anything, man, I just wanna thank God for this win. You know, I'm just blessed to be here, healthy. You know, having 2 legs under me. Júlia, Davi, foi por você, papai te ama. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it was funny. Yes, perfect. It was perfect. So, how's it feel to get your belt back, brother? That was yours. How's it feel?
Feels great. Man, well, ever since I came to Bellator, that's my main goal, is to be a champion. Koreshkov, man, is a heck of an opponent. You know, it's an honor for me to compete against him one more time. I just want to thank Bellator for the opportunity, you know, and let's keep on going.
All right, so the most important question, let's keep it going. Who are we asking for next?
Well, I don't want to call anybody out, but I always want to fight the biggest name. I know Warren McDonough just signed. You know, I would love the opportunity to fight him. You know, it can be Brazil, Canada, States, here again, wherever.
Sounds great. Douglas Lima, everybody, your new welterweight Bellator champion.